Hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. This is part three of our four-part series, and this one is called The Structure to Success, Your Weekly Game Plan. I'm going to try and keep this video to 10 minutes long, as my last one was quite long. But this is like, to me, one of the most exciting parts of this whole series, because what we find is that we want to have absolute confidence in that we're going to achieve the goals that we set. So, for a lot of us, what we think that is that, you've got to have willpower, you've got to have dedication, you've got to have self-discipline and the ability to stay focused day in and day out to achieve your short-term and your long-term goals. And while these things are important, things like self-discipline and focus day in and day out, these qualities are just a few of the things that you need. And what I found is that, in fact, you want to have a structure or a system that you can help you determine whether you are on track in achieving the goals that you set. You want to have a system in place that really does the legwork for you so that you just have to show up and make the course corrections as needed. And I say this because, in the past, I really struggled with setting goals, and it was frustrating. What I found was that I spent a lot of time creating big, lofty goals that gave me like this short-term adrenaline boost, but I'd find that in the end, I'd never achieved these goals that I had set, and I'd feel pretty bad. And the reason was because I didn't have a way of actually staying on track and following up on these goals that I had set, daily, weekly. And now that I've implemented this system, I've been using this system, this strategy for over a year now. It's changed everything for me. And what it is basically having a weekly meeting with yourself. And I'm going to get into kind of the details of how you can start to do that. But what I find is that once you start having this weekly meeting with yourself, you show up, you know what your goals are, your big goals, your long-term goals, you know what they are. And you basically know, what's on track, what goals you're on track with and what goals you aren't. So then you know that you can, sort of adjust and give a little bit more love to the ones that need the support. I really find too is that you don't have to guess at what to do next when you have this weekly meeting, because you simply have the steps laid out, and you'll have intuition as like, okay, if I tackle these things this week, I know that I'm going to have the biggest impact here. And I find that by having a weekly meeting also, it saves you time and energy, because you're not having to backtrack and figure out, okay, what am I doing today? Or, what am I doing, this hour? You'll have a system that, kind of guides you along in this process. It's really cool to see. So if this is something you're interested in trying out, here's some stuff that I want to give you to, start doing these weekly meetings. So step number one is to pick a time slot on Sundays, any time slot that you can on Sunday, that fits with your schedule, or at the latest Monday morning before you start your week, and give yourself about 15 to 30 minutes, just to yourself, so you can sit here in this sort of planning process. Step two, grab a notebook, and I want you to map out Monday to Saturday on paper, including, the dates. So today is January 28th. Actually, that's irrelevant. Don't worry about that. Basically, at the top of the paper, you're going to write down, Monday, January 27th. Next to it, you're going to write Tuesday, January 28th. Below the Monday, you're going to write, Wednesday, January 29th. Underneath each day, I want you to leave 3 to 4 lines of space, basically, so you can start kind of filling things in as you go. So it'd be like Monday, 3 to 4 lines of space, and then Wednesday. Same thing, Wednesday, 3 to 4 lines of space. Friday. You'll see what I mean. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Most importantly, do not let this paper disappear during the week, because you're going to be referring back to it. On a separate piece of paper, this is step 3 here. I want you to write down all the tasks and activities that you have to done through the week. Obviously, stay on track. I mean, if you're doing this for work, I'm sure you don't have 50 things to do in the week. You probably have, 10, 20 things. And I want you to map them all out, including your meetings, and just, get a real good perspective on like, okay, like this is what has to happen this week. Okay, so you map that out, write it out, write out everything you can. And then here's the thing. So I want you to go through that list of tasks, meetings, whatever, and I want you to pick the 3 most important ones for the week. Okay? I want you to highlight them or circle them. Do whatever you have to do to make sure that you know that these are the most important tasks. And then what you're going to do is I want you to start filling in the empty spaces below your dates, right? So be liberal here, basically, have a good understanding of how much time is needed and start filling them in to those, priority slots as you can. And then from there, this is step 5. What I want you to do is once you've kind of filled in those priority tasks, these are tasks that have to happen this week. I want you to put in your meetings next. And then I want you to put in your lower priority tasks. So what you'll find is that you've got sort of like this top-down visual perspective of, okay, here's the week in front of me. Here is, where my most important tasks that need to happen are. And then, you've got your meetings and your lower priority tasks, also on the sheet. So you'll have a very good perspective of what needs to happen this week and what is going to be the biggest drivers of your success for that week leading into your quarterly goals. So if you do this, you'll really start to see some major benefits. Here's what I find. You'll have peace of mind knowing that you are prepared for the week ahead. I mean, you've literally sat down on a Sunday and planned out your week. Be flexible. Obviously, you're gonna have to make some adjustments, but just knowing that you've got this plan in place, you're not gonna have to guess. You're just gonna be able to go and take action on it. Again, going back to that point I made before, you're going to save time and energy because you won't have to backtrack or waste brain power trying to figure out what to do next. It's all laid out for you there. And I mean, I just find you'll be more productive because you have a structured plan in place, right? It's simple. But if you don't do this, if you don't follow a structure like this, what you'll find is like you'll get frustrated because as things come up, you don't have a plan in place. And if something knocks you off task or something takes longer, you're going to have a hard time readjusting for that day. You'll find that your time and energy gets sapped and misused because you're having to adapt in that moment when there's changes to your schedule. And I personally find this is that you'll actually lose momentum in your day because you started your day. It basically, energy and momentum. But as your day goes on and as you feel less productive or if you feel that things aren't getting accomplished, you just feel like you don't play to your full potential. So I really want you to give this a try. If you've never done this before, give this weekly meeting strategy a try. What you'll find is you'll have structure and you'll have confidence on a weekly basis that you'll be able to tackle your goals that are in front of you, but you'll also be able to tackle these long-term goals that you have. So give it a try and let me know what you think. And that's it for today. Hope you have an awesome rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon.